Here's what we're working on for Fox 59 News Live at 5.
A local teacher accused of sending inappropriate messages to a student. Why the school's principal is now also facing charges.
We're stuck in a rut weather-wise with more cloud cover. We haven't been able to move the temperatures, and these clouds continue to flex their muscles, not letting up and giving us any sunshine soon. When will we get to some sunshine? It's in my forecast coming up.
And trapped in China, a local man's family is stuck as the coronavirus spreads. Tonight, why a flight home to the United States took off without them.
All out for Oladipo. The Pacers welcome back their star player tonight. What the head coach is hoping to see from his guard this evening.
And tonight we're following breaking news live at 5. A couple of breaking stories here. A new lawsuit claims the Carmel Clay School District failed to protect a student from sexual assaults.
And a local high school principal and teacher facing charges in connection with a child seduction case.
We've also just learned that a woman was found dead in a burning home. We have a lot to cover tonight, a lot of breaking stories to get to here live at 5. Thanks for joining us. I'm Dan Spieler.
And I'm Lindsay Eaton. Let's start with this newly filed lawsuit. Now, you may remember last year, Carmel swim coach John Goals pleaded guilty to sexual exploitation and was sentenced to more than 16 years in prison. In a Title IX lawsuit filed today, the victim, who was a student at the time, claims the district received warnings that Goals had acted inappropriately with female swimmers, but failed to take action. It goes on to claim Carmel's head coach, Chris Plum, failed to report the allegations to authorities.
The lawsuit says the victim was raped on multiple occasions, including one time at a Red Roof Inn. The victim is also suing the motel chain, saying its employees should have been trained to prevent and report child sex crimes. The lawsuit is seeking damages from all the defendants. We've reached out to the school for comment. We are still waiting to hear back.
A former Hendricks County principal is accused of failing to report allegations about a relationship between a TriWest teacher and coach and a student. That teacher, who you see right here, is also facing child seduction and obstruction of justice charges. So
court documents just unsealed today indicate that officials at TriWest High School and Northwest Hendricks County Schools knew about the allegations months before deputies started investigating.
Fox 59's Zach Myers has more on what these documents reveal.
In a probable cause affidavit filed in Hendricks County Court, investigators say it was last February when former Northwest Hendricks School Superintendent Michael Springer, former TriWest High School Principal Adam Benner, and other school officials first heard these allegations about concerns over the relationship between a former football coach and teacher, Tyler Bruce, and a 16-year-old female student. Reports and anonymous tips through the school's website said Bruce and the student were working out alone together in a weight room with the door locked and spending time in Bruce's office with the lights out. Court documents say rumors about the pair were flying around the school, and in March, Principal Benner told administrators any more reports about Bruce and the student should go directly to him. Bruce was told to stop working out alone with the student. It's important to note, though, that neither the student's parents or the Department of Child Services were notified about the allegations at that time. In May, DCS got an anonymous tip about an inappropriate relationship. Days later, police got a tip that Bruce's wife had discovered text and Snapchat messages between Bruce and the student. In a later interview, the student told police Bruce started sending her Snapchat messages complimenting her body, asking for naked pictures, and saying his wife was not giving him what he wanted. She said she sent him nude photos, hoping it would put an end to it. In a June follow-up interview, the student told police Bruce had touched her inappropriately in his classroom and his office and made inappropriate advances in a locker room. A July search of Bruce's phone turned up evidence that Bruce had wiped data and removed the SIM card. Deputies were still able to find evidence of an ongoing Snapchat conversation between Bruce and that student. A November email search showed Principal Benner never contacted Bruce about his relationship with the student, and he and other school administrators declined to talk to police about the matter. In the newsroom, Zach Myers, Fox 59 News.
Tonight, TriWest's former principal Adam Benner is facing a failure to report charge. Deputies say many in the school district knew about the allegations but waited to report them. This includes former Superintendent Michael Springer, the school's athletic director Nathan Beagle, and Dean of Students Stacy Beagle. Prosecutors have not filed any charges against any of them. We are still waiting to hear back from the school. Just into the Fox 59 newsroom within the last half an hour here, firefighters over in Mooresville say a woman was found dead in a burning home on Fairwood Court. She has been identified as Opal Daughtry. They say her son Dan was pulled out of that burning home when firefighters arrived there on scene. He is now being treated at Eskenazi Hospital. An investigation into the exact cause of that fire is ongoing tonight.
Right now, live at 5, police in Greencastle are searching for suspects after a woman was found dead.
The coroner identified her as 44-year-old Melissa Atkinson. Her death has been ruled a homicide.
So here's what we know as of right now. Investigators reportedly found her body last night inside this home on East Berry Street. They say her death is suspicious in nature, but an exact cause is still not clear. Atkinson's friends say she was a loving mother who would do anything for anyone. The coroner is expected to release the results of an autopsy at some point tonight. As soon as we get that information, we'll be sure to share it with you.
Turning to our weather now, it's like this cloudy forecast is just stuck on repeat.
Yeah, sure is. The temperatures have mostly stayed the same, but Chief Meteorologist Brian Wilkes is tracking some warmer weather in your Weather Authority forecast.
Yeah, absolutely got to be patient. It's going to be several more days before we get to sunshine. Let's go right to the camera and show you the view from Avon. It's an overcast day, and this picture has been duplicated all across central Indiana. It's cloudy, it's damp. The temperatures are about exactly where they were at this morning and where they were at yesterday afternoon with a northeast wind, and it's not budging. No let up. There'll be a few flurries around and temperatures hold steady throughout the night. This temperature inversion continues. We'll explain. We're stuck in park for now. Is there more snow to fall in January, and February will open mild? We'll track 50s and 60s in a spring-like feel, but winter will be flexing its muscles too. I'll show you when we could be changing this pattern coming up.
All right, thanks, Brian. See you in a little bit. An Anderson couple is worrying about their family in China as the number of coronavirus cases goes up.
Their daughter-in-law and grandchildren are on lockdown in Wuhan, the epicenter of this outbreak.
Fox 59's Kelly Rinke joins us live tonight after speaking with them earlier. Kelly, what do they have to say today?
Yeah, guys, Diana Kirchenbauer is from Wuhan, China, but her husband grew up here in Anderson. She traveled to the city to celebrate the Chinese New Year with her parents, and now she and her 2 little kids are cooped up in an apartment so they don't get sick too.
Get rid of this.
Harry Kirchenbauer reads the news every day from his home in Anderson, Indiana.
Right now, you don't have any choice. You're following Trump.
Another headline he follows originates from 7,000 miles away, the deadly coronavirus in Wuhan, China. That's Harry's granddaughter, Tia, and grandson, Eric, keeping themselves occupied as they sit and wait in an apartment in Wuhan.
Here is Tia. Yeah, say hi.
The kids traveled to the city with their mom, Diana. She grew up there.
Try to not pass the virus for other people, to other people. But now we are healthy, so we feel pretty lucky now.
They're staying with Diana's parents. She only ventures out to these empty streets to get food and water.
And this is last bag. Remember?
Always wearing masks to stay healthy. While she stays in the lockdown zone of the deadly coronavirus, she worries someone in the family will get sick.
Hospitals are a lot. The doctors and nurses are very, very crazy busy every day. They have no any rest.
Her husband, Chris, Harry's son, is still in Nanjing, China, where they work and live. He stayed behind as he recovers from shoulder surgery.
That's probably the biggest problem we have, is we have no idea how long this is going to last.
A State Department chartered flight evacuated hundreds of Americans out of Wuhan to California. Chris says his kids were offered a seat on that plane. His wife could not go since she's not an American citizen, so they decided to not take that offer.
Not really life-threatening for them, but it could be life-threatening for my father-in-law, because he's older and he has some health issues.
He had lung cancer, and so it's always a worry about that because he might be more vulnerable.
Back home in Indiana, Chris's parents hope their family stays healthy and the number of cases start to go down.
Hopefully, sometime down the future, they'll come back home.
And right now the family doesn't have another plan to get out during this lockdown. And because they're stuck in Wuhan, China, it's actually delaying school for the 2 kids, so they're having to take online classes.
Scary stuff, and it seems like we are hearing more and more cases daily. What are doctors saying about this, and is there anything we can do to protect ourselves?
Well, right now there's not a vaccine for the coronavirus, and like other viruses, they really just say the best thing you can do is avoid exposure and wash your hands often.
All right, my goodness. All right, thanks a lot, Kelly. We appreciate it. Happening tonight, there's a vigil for the man who was shot and killed at a subway on Shadeland Avenue. Family and friends plan to honor the life of Ashok Kumar. They're meeting in less than an hour at 6 o'clock in the Shadeland Station Shopping Center parking lot.
The Senate impeachment trial entering a new phase this afternoon. Let's take you live to Capitol Hill, where senators are cross-examining the House managers and the president's legal defense team. There's lead impeachment manager Adam Schiff answering questions right now. They have 16 hours over the next 2 days to ask questions, the senators do. Many Democratic senators have asked how the Senate could reach a verdict without hearing from witnesses or variations of that question. Several Republicans have asked about whether or not the articles of impeachment charge President Trump with a high crime or a misdemeanor, what the definition of that is. The Senate is expected to vote Friday on whether or not to allow witnesses in the trial. There's been a lot of talk about that this week in terms of John Bolton's testimony, what he might have to say. As of now, it's not clear if House Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has the votes needed to block new testimony. We will certainly keep you posted as more information comes in. All right, right now we turn to sports, and it is the return so many Pacer fans have been waiting for. Victor Oladipo stepping back onto the court at Bankers Life Fieldhouse tonight after missing a year with a quad injury.
Fox 59's Chris Widlick is at Bankers Life Fieldhouse right now, where the excitement is building.
Well, Vic is ready, the field house is ready, the fans are more than ready. Victor Oladipo finally making his return after more than a year out with an injury. And every fan has a special sign on their suit saying, ready for action. They are pumped, they are ready to go. Victor Oladipo says he's learned so much after being off the floor for a long time. He's mentally tougher than he thought. As for expectations, we'll hear what he has to think about those a little bit later at 6 o'clock. And we'll also hear from the coach and what his workload might be. We haven't heard whether he'll start or come off the bench. But for now, we're at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Chris Widlick, Fox 59 Sports.
All right, Chris, thanks so much. Tip-off tonight at 7 o'clock. Right now, the Pacers are listed as 9.5-point favorites. We'll have full coverage of the game coming up tonight at 10.
A convicted mass shooter appeals his death sentence.
Tonight, why his attorneys say his medical record warrants a new trial.
Plus, Super Bowl Sunday is just 4 days away. We are live in Miami showing you how much fans really know about their team.